Hello, my friends on YouTube. Today is Sunday, the 25th of September 2022. Today's video is about what's happening in Iran, and I decided to call it Women Revolution or Iranian Women, the Revolution of Iranian Women on Islam. Because we'll talk about that. In the beginning, I would like to answer a couple of comments or questions, rather. The first one got my attention really because it's anyway from David Saxton, and he's asking if women in the Islamic countries know that they are nothing more than slaves in the hands of men. Many women actually don't know that. They are brainwashed, unfortunately, and they think they are in a higher position than what they were, or higher position than a Western woman, or in a higher position than an Eastern woman, let's say in South Korea, Japan, China. They feel that, unfortunately. And big segment of Islamic women, especially in the Arab countries, they believe that. And this is because, in my opinion, the constant religious speech that telling them that, so they started to believe it. However, there are also good, educated women in Islamic countries, and I emphasize specifically Iran, who are aware. However, the iron fist is always there, and I am not exaggerating. That young lady that she was killed, her name is Mahsa Amini. She was younger, 22. I mean, she's healthy, she's strong. She has her whole life in front of her. She went to the police station, she came out dead. They say it was a heart condition or heart attack or whatever, heart failure. This is nonsense. I know it's nonsense. Okay, I lived in Egypt and I know what goes on. This young lady, unfortunately, she was brutally beaten until she died. Okay. So unfortunately, yes, there are many women who believe, who don't know that they are, but many do, and many stand up against this injustice, like this young lady, but she paid with her life. And that what the message, whether it is Islamic iron fist or communist iron fist, they always use the iron fist to discourage people, to make you always think the penalty is my life, and not only that, the intimidation and pain that the rest of my family will pay even after they kill me. Okay, this happens in these countries, so people are concerned. Anyway, that is concerning your first question. The second part, what about the tasting of juices after the third divorce? If the woman wants to go back to her children, the tasting of juices, this is an Islamic term, and it is very unfortunate. I mean, it is very clear that this is a vulgar way to kind of like treat people. as if they are nothing but sexual object to each other. Whatever, anyway, uh, let's say the husband divorces his wife 3 times, then she has, yes, in Islamic term they call it the tasting of juice. And what they mean here is, uh, I'm sorry if there are children, please don't let them listen to that because it's not for them. It's like the fluid of the sexual area, the sexual parts, okay, of man and woman. This, they call it the juices, tasting of the juices. Okay. Um, so, what happened? She has, that woman, unfortunately, even if she is not into that, she wants to really see her children. She wants to be with her children. Oftentimes, she would expose herself to another man to go around the law that was put 1400 years ago so she can see her children again. And this, honestly, the new husband can say, no, I'm not going to divorce this woman unless you give me this such amount of money, or I don't want to divorce her, period. I'm happy with her, so I'm not divorcing. So what would the woman do at this point? Nothing. Nothing. We are in that dilemma. There's another comment from book Mouse. Men have they have a loss of control of their temper. I wish it was only the temper, because sometimes actually all of us, men and women at home, if you have certain stress or something, you raise up your voice a little bit on your children or whatever. No, the loss here is actually big loss, not of the temper. I want to suggest, if you do a search on Google search and check the countries most search for pornography, and all the top on the list are Islamic countries: Pakistan, Egypt, Afghanistan, and so on and so forth. Why? Because the ideology itself filled up the head and the mind of the average person in this ideology, that you will have 1, 2, 3, up to 4 wives, and if you own women that you rightfully took as sex slaves when you invaded this country or this village, these are yours. You can also enjoy sexually, and when you die, for the sake of Allah, you find 72 virgin in the next world. So the culture and the ideology, it's all centered on sex and sexuality and the fulfillment of man's sexual desire. And the ultimate happiness is to always be with young virgins. So this is not a loss of temper, that you are under stress or your spouse under stress and sometimes you lash out or something like that. It's not like that. That's a total loss of control over one's self. Okay. We have now to the main subject, which is about the revolution that is taking place now. Many Iranian women taking to the street, and they are objecting about what happened, because all these things were happening An Iranian woman really differ from uh, all Muslim women. Ir- to start with, Iranian people are more educated and more cultured than Arabs. I'm not saying that to put Arabs or Egyptian lower than the Iranian, but it's a fact. It's a fact. Okay? Uh, so they receive better education and they are more cultured than all Arab countries, the women in all Arab countries. So, but despite of that, the iron fist, whether it is in Iran or any other Muslim country or also communist country such as North Korea, the iron fist is there to intimidate, so it will discourage men and women to do anything against the authority. Because if you do, you will suffer a tremendous consequence. I know in North Korea, if I mean, the guy killed his own brother because he knew that there is a chance that he may be installed as the president of North Korea. So he got rid of him. He killed his uncle. Okay? So let's say in Egypt, before Mubarak, during President Nasser era, if you think differently, or if you try to do anything, express something that it is not with the collective thought, you could disappear and your family will not know about you ever again, if you are alive, dead, or whatever. Okay? Actually, the first president of Egypt was after it changed from uh, kingdom, because Egypt until 1952 was a kingdom, for those who don't know. After 52, a new president was there. His name was Mohammed Najib, and he led Egypt for 2 years. Nobody hears about him. And the reason is he was forgotten. He was made to be forgotten. And Nasser took over and he instated that totalitarian way of life and applied the iron fist. The iron fist is not found only in these communist socialist countries, but also is found in Iran, Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is changing, I know, but until recently, Egypt, Yemen, Jordan, all Islamic countries without exception, have that treatment of the iron fist if you go against the system. So, what happened with this young lady who died? In a way, you could say she was a sacrifice that gave courage to the women in Iran to stand up. Women and men and women in Iran are sick of the system and sick of the culture that invaded their original culture 1400 years ago and wanted to destroy their culture, but they didn't succeed. However, the invasion that came to North Africa, Egypt and North Africa, where is the Egyptian language? We didn't speak Arabic before. Where is the Egyptian culture? Furthermore, if you go west, they call them barbarian, the Berber. to humiliate them. But that was a culture. uh, the people, they are called Amazigh, which from the west of Egypt, actually part of these people live in the west side of Egypt, all the way to Morocco and Mauritania, to the Atlantic. These were called, it was an empire almost of these people, and they were very advanced culture. At home, many of these people still speak their language, the Amazigh language. But officially, when you go to school, you study in Arabic. In Egypt, the ancient Egyptian is gone. Only few people, the expert, know how to speak it. And I don't know how well, but it's not a used language anymore in the country. They managed to uproot our culture, uproot our tradition, uproot everything, destroy it, and plant whatever they brought with them, which made change Egypt from a leading country in science and medicine and all kind of advancement into a third world country. Same happened in Iraq. Iraq was, before the invasion, it was a very advanced culture. The Iran, it was very advanced culture, but these people, Iran managed to kick them out. So they kept their original culture, but there is an influence on them, that iron fist influence. So in Iran, because I have many Iranian friends, and they tell me, that they are sick of that Islamic garbage. They call it garbage. It doesn't mean anything to them. It's just they felt when they wanted to change the system in 1997 to get rid of the Shah of Iran, they thought they are actually putting a better system to elevate the country. But now they can see that unless they submit, capitulate, they will die. However, that sacrifice of this young lady, Mahisa Amini, gave courage to women to stand up and take to street, and in big numbers like that, and men also are joining them. They have the courage because in big number like that, the secret police, because there are secret police, cannot come and around half of the country and put them in prison and make them disappear. So Iran is facing now, hopefully, a change that it will bring, because if it takes place in Iran, that will give the courage to women in other countries. Like Iran is the largest Shia country, but Muslim Shia or Muslim Sunni, it doesn't matter. Once people see that these women in Iran gain their liberty, and if they want to be religious, that's their business. If they want to be Muslim, that's their business. They don't have anything to do with the religion. That's their business. Once people see that this happened, they might be able to accept, to take the chance and fight for their freedom and for the change of system. So hopefully that we can learn and we can see change coming as it is happening now in Iran. The rest of the Islamic countries, the Arab and Islamic countries, can seek freedom. And then you want to be Muslim, that's your business. You want to be atheist, that's your business. You want to be Jewish, that's your business. Okay, we thank you very much and we hope to hear from you.